If someone were to ask me what's off-book acting about, what am I about? I would be about challenging old trainings and helping actors contribute more of their ideas to their auditions, especially in this self-tape era. Self-tape Zoom auditions have really changed the way actors have to prepare for an audition. There's a very fast turnaround, and now you have to do it at home with no director, no feedback, not a lot of help. It's really up to you to become a self-sufficient actor, to do all of the work and think like a writer and a director and a casting director, a producer and an actor in your audition. How do we do that? Well, you've never been taught how to do that. In fact, maybe you've learned a little bit of script analysis in a college class, but it's not what I'm talking about. You have to think story first. You have to work story first. You have to prepare story first. And that's what I'm about, story first. Because memorizing doesn't cut it anymore. Casting directors can see when an actor is memorized because, unfortunately, memorizing your lines means that you're also memorizing a performance and everything feels kind of robotic, reproduced, and you're delivering instead of discovering. Actors need to work and train in a new way. That's what off-book is about. And that's why we need to work with a story-first system. And your old training isn't going to give you that. I'm going to help you have that right here. And of course, I offer that in a personal one-on-one training program as well. You can always click the link to my website and find out more there. Now, who am I to say all this? I've been in this industry for over 25 years. I've been coaching for 20 years. And I've seen a trend that actors are missing time and time again. We're really focused on just getting memorized quickly so we can set up everything, shoot it, turn it around, get it in on time. Maybe you're that actor who's auditioning and you feel like you have to cut corners in your preparation in order to get your self-tape in on time. And that's the trend. That's the problem. Actors are focusing on the wrong thing because you feel so crushed for time. The pressure of delivery. The idea that your agent sends you an audition and they want a really fast turnaround. And yeah, of course they want a really fast turnaround because there's a deadline. And they're expecting that you're going to have loads of time to be able to do the traditional training preparation. But the traditional training preparation doesn't account for the fact that you have a life, have a day job, have things to do, and perhaps you only really have an hour or two to prepare, shoot, and turn around your self-tape audition. Traditional training doesn't account for the time, the pressure, the lack of rehearsal, the lack of director, the lack of feedback. It's really on you, the actor, to be self-sufficient completely, to have a process that gets you in a state of play and having a really good time with the role as you're preparing the role. Story First is a system that I created because I saw two disciplines as two disciplines instead of one. I kept running back to the improv theater because I love improv. I love not having a script. I love the idea of being the writer-actor and the actor-writer at the same time, that I'm contributing my ideas to the good of the scene, playing and in real time listening and taking in and streamlining all of my acting training into an unscripted scene in front of an audience. There's nothing more thrilling to me. And as I started teaching acting and coaching almost 20 years ago, I used improv as a way to get jobs teaching and also a way to wake up and shake up actors. Improv at its core is the best acting training I have ever experienced because it forces all of the elements of your acting training to come to one performance that is unscripted. You have your scene partner, and you have an idea. And it really showed me that my ideas matter. That my joy of contributing as the writer-actor was a part of my acting training. Now, there was script analysis in scene study class. I always thought that was something completely different. That I couldn't bring anything that I was enjoying when I was doing improv to the hard work of script analysis. Enter off-book acting. Marrying the two, creating a bridge between the joy of freedom and spontaneity and the fun of improv with the classic script analysis and scene study process was my goal. It was my mission to create something new, a kind of synergy, I guess you could say, of it all. Like I'm binding it all together. And that was what hit me. That the way I work as a coach is I see these as one discipline, not as two separate entities. Improv and script analysis are one. In fact, I believe all the training and all the rules of improv actually help you prepare for your role just as well as all the script analysis breakdown. So let's talk about that. I call it story first. That's the shift. Story first. It sounds really simple, right? All I want you to do is to start thinking about the story before you even get anywhere close to picking up a highlighter and memorizing your lines. In fact, I have a free ebook that I linked down below in the description of this video. It's called Stop Highlighting, and it talks about the 5 reasons why highlighting your lines is hurting your auditions. You should check it out. It goes right in line with what I'm about to talk about. Working story first gives your imagination something to play inside of. It gives you context. It gives you a box, and it gives you a frame. You have to focus on the story elements first. Let's talk about those. It's the W questions. Where, when, who, what, why. Where, when, who, what, why. Let's just focus on breaking down all of the W questions today. I'll give you a little intro into what story first preparation or the story first system is. When you read your script, before you highlight your lines, before you even worry about memorizing anything, you need to identify those elements. Where are you? When is it? Is it daytime? Is it nighttime? Is it a flashback scene? Is it a right now scene? Who's in the scene? And don't be fooled by the fact that the only people that are in the scene are the people that have lines in the scene. You might be talking about other characters in the story. There are people in the scene. What's going on? What is happening in the scene? Actually, factually, right? Plot-wise, what is happening? But then there's a whole other layer of what is happening. What is going on in the full story that drives your role to be in this scene? What purpose does your role have being in this scene? Right? The classic phrase, what's my motivation? What's your purpose? And the big W question of all, why? Why? Why are you in the scene? Why is the scene taking place? Why are these two characters talking to each other? Why do you care as your role? Why does it matter? The thing that I found with working story first and playing as if it's an improvisation is that we get clarity on the story. Then we find connection to the role, and that gives us a ton of confidence when stepping in front of camera. Clarity, connection, confidence. This is what story first offers. And working with the elements of the story first helps your brain create a frame or a context for your imagination to play in. I know the 3 questions, if we want to whittle it down, that I had to answer as an improviser. Ooh, an improviser? Improviser? I don't know. The 3 questions I had to answer was, where are we? Who are we? And why is this happening? Or sometimes you hear like, who, what, where, right? Let's rework that. It's really where, who, what. Where are we? Who's in the scene? What is going on? Hey, maybe you've got some ideas or some comments you'd like to share. I'd love to start a conversation here in the comments section. I want you to get up and playing as the role as soon as possible. Here's an exercise. The next script you get, or if you find a script online, answer those W questions. Where, when, who, what, why. And then do this. Read the scene 2 or 3 times, put it down, put it away, and challenge yourself to improvise the whole scene. Can you play it out without it being word perfect as both roles? Or maybe you just talk it out as a plot by plot, event to event way of like brainstorming the scene, right? Try it. It's really fun. It gets you away from the script. It gets you off book faster and thinking like, do I know the sequence of the story? Do I know every moment of the scene? We need to put the story together first before we can even begin to step into the role. And if you think you don't have a lot of time, I'm telling you this, if you start working story first, you're going to be the role faster than if you ever just picked up a highlighter and were focused on your lines. Your lines memorized alone creates a void. But if you work story first and play in the world, the lines will come so much easier. Now, if you're interested in learning more about story first, click the link to my website. Check out my 90-day private one-on-one intensive. This is 90 days of working with me one-on-one in the story first system that helps you have a step-by-step action plan so you can walk into your role and then walk right in front of camera confidently and ready to perform and have fun. Because having fun is the most important part. So you might as well start having fun first. In that Story First program, you'll learn about how you can create an action plan for your preparation. You'll create a self-tape proactive clip for your media kit. And then you'll get some on-camera technique and insight on how to make your self-tapes pop and that you can stand out in a sea of submissions. Let's start working story first. Again, I'm Will Doughty. I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for listening today, and stay tuned. Subscribe to this channel. I've got more information coming your way, so I'll be here weekly. All right, until then, bye-bye. Break legs.